Welcome to a new national exam for students whose major is science. During the correction of this exam, we will get certain skills and let's say procedures to follow and to get good marks in back English exams. So let's get started with text of comprehension. Greta Thunberg is a climate youth activist who has received worldwide recognition for her efforts to fight climate change. Greta was born on January 3rd, 2003 in Sweden. Her mother Melon Eman is an opera singer and her father Sevens is an actor. She began her climate activism at the age of 15. In May 2018, Greta won a climate change essay competition in a local newspaper. 3 months later, she started protesting in front of the Swedish parliament and skipping classes with the simple message "School strike for climate." Thanks to social media, her actions have spread rapidly and influenced millions of young people around the world. The 10 activist has been invited to numerous meetings to speak on behalf of the climate youth movement. In December 2018, her speech at the United Nations COP24 in Poland got millions of likes, shares, and views. At the summit, she expressed her deep worry about the environment, saying, "I don't care about being popular, I care about climate justice and the living planet." Greta had another opportunity to speak at the United Nations Climate Action Summit in New York City in September 2019. That is where she walked in the largest climate protest in history with a total of 4 million people. The world eyes were on Greta when she condemned world leaders in her emotional "How dare you" speech at the United Nations, telling them, "You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. People are suffering, people are dying, entire ecosystems are collapsing. How dare you? We will never forgive you." In reaction to Greta's attitude, Anne Hidalgo, the mayor of Paris, said that it is truly inspiring to see young people making their voices heard. In COP25 in Madrid, Greta again blamed leaders for not acting to save the planet because greenhouse gases emissions continue to rise. She realized that her school strikes haven't achieved anything and that we need more activists. For her great efforts to make a difference about climate change, Greta Thunberg was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in March 2019. So let's get started with the comprehension questions. Try please to base all your answers on the text, okay? So the first one, are these sentences true or false? Justify. Greta was raised in artistic family. Of course it's true. Why? Because her mother, Melons Eman, is an opera singer and her father, Sevens, is an actor. So we have here two key points. We have an opera singer, alright? And we have an actress. That's why it reflects the idea that she has been raised, let's say, on an artistic family, alright? That's great. The largest protest against climate change took place in Sweden. Of course, it's false. Why? Because when we talk about the largest, we need a lot of people. And in the text, you will find the fact that a particular place has collected 4 million people. And this place is New York City, alright? That's why we say false. The largest protest against climate change took place in New York City, alright? Number 3. Anne Hidalgo had a positive attitude to Greta's speech. It's true. That's why Anne said that it is truly inspiring to see young people making their voices heard. Alright? B. Answer the following questions. Where is Greta Thunberg from? Okay, when we talk about her place of birth, alright? And because Greta was born in Sweden, we say she is from Sweden, alright? Even it is not mentioned in the text, okay? So be careful when you answer this kind of answers because it's quite easy and the examiner here try to, let's say, to test your knowledge in terms of understanding this text, okay? That's good. Why did Greta skip classes? And in the text, we will find that Greta tried to make, let's say, a strike in front of Swedish parliament. And she tries to skip, let's say, and she skipped, of course, many times her classes, all right? And we say she skipped classes because she started to protest against climate change in front of the Swedish parliament. Or we can say she started protesting, all right? Both of them are correct. Why was Greta nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize? This is a great idea here, and we see it is for her great efforts to make a difference about climate change. So whenever we find any, let's say, ceremony or let's say a conference that is like COP24 in Poland or let's say COP25 in Madrid, she presented and she showed her voice, even she is just a little kid, alright? That's great. Complete the following sentence with the information from the text. Social media contribute to Greta's popularity, or we say to make Greta popular, alright? So popularity here means to become famous. So whenever we have different actions that exist in a particular things, a particular place, and we find many focus by social media and her actions was recorded and somehow inspiring or let's say bad actions. So due to this kind of spreading the information using social media, she will become obvious famous, alright? That's good. Greta criticized world leaders for, here we have two kinds of criticizing. The first one that happens in Poland in COP24 and in Madrid in COP25. And the first action she said, she criticizing because stealing her dreams and her childhood. And in COP25, we will find not acting to save the planet. Alright? So this is a great point, either to put the first one or the second or both of them, they are considered as true. Okay? That's good. The next question here, pick out from the text phrases or sentences which show that Greta isn't interested in becoming famous. And in one of her speech she said that I don't care about being popular, okay? Greta's school strike didn't have any result. And we see in this sense, school strike haven't achieved anything. Here we find that school strikes that happens or that is made by Greta's didn't do anything, didn't change even the place or the environment that she was there, okay? That's why she tried to go further by doing a particular things like going in front of the parliament, okay? So the change that happens during this particular place makes a lot of changes towards climate change, alright? A. Find in the text words or phrases that mean almost the same as internationally concerned, degrading. Here, internationally, of course, as I said before, it's an adjective, alright? Keep this one into your mind. Concerned, here it could be a verb or it could be a noun. So for example, if I say my concern, and if I say I concern about a particular things, this is a verb, alright? Degrading, it's a verb plus ing. Here, as I advise you for the first time, internationally, try to look for an adjective, okay? For students whose English level is, let's say, good or not that good, and whenever they go to particular or to paragraph 1, they should look for an adjective, alright? And the thing that should be written here should be an adjective. Whereas degrading here in paragraph 5, verb plus ing. So the first one here we have worldwide. Okay, so we can say this is a worldwide idea or it's spread worldwide. Alright? Concerned, of course, is worry. Whereas degrading is collapsing. That is something, let's say, decreasing. What do the underlined words in the text refer to? The 10 activists, them. Here, sorry, I forget to write which paragraph here, but it can be easy if you look at the text. Whereas the 10 activists, it's a noun, and we talk about a person, okay? And then it could be a thing, and it could be a person, okay? So the first one we have Greta, whereas the second is world leaders, okay? So she criticized them about not saving the planet and about destroying, let's say, dreams of Greta. That's good. This is the first part of language side, okay? Fill in the gaps with the correct words from the list. Sandy had to cancel her trip to Turkey. Health problems. Ashraf Hakimi was selected best young player. Is originally from Waltham. That's good. So the first one here, if we are going to talk about, let's say, a noun, okay? And we are going to make a relationship between the first clause and the second phrase, okay? So here we consider it as a result. It's the effect, okay? Keep this one into your mind. So I do something because of something else, all right? And this is the cause. And I consider it as a noun phrase. And for you, just try to consider it as a noun, okay? So as to is used for purpose, whereas because of its cause and effect, also as a result its cause and effect. Here the result we write comma, for example, if we are going to start it from the first, and we put subject, verb, and object or complement, okay? Whereas here we added just noun. So keep this one into your mind, it's gonna help you. Here it's going to be verb infinitive. That's good. So the only things that is left and follows the grammatical rules is because of, okay? That's why we are going to put it here. Ashraf Hakimi was selected best young player. Here, as I said before in the previous, let's say, exam, I'm going to use a simple rules to follow. But as a grammatical rules, it's not true. And because it is helpful, we are going to benefit from it. So whenever we have whose, say we have a noun, okay? So before it, it's a noun. Whom, it should be before subject. Who, it's before a verb. Okay? So it's like this. Who plus a verb. That's why we are going to say the first one. Okay? So was here. Is it a noun or subject or a verb? Of course it's a verb. That's why we are going to put who. Okay? That's great. B. Give the correct forms of the words in brackets. Rita gets a lot of satisfy from voluntary work with disabled, it could be disabled people. Rashid hasn't sent his for job yet. Both of them we are going to put a noun, okay? In this or in these particular context. For satisfaction it's a verb and it's going to be a noun here. Whereas apply it's a verb and it's going to be a noun. So satisfy, the noun here, to be changed in this particular context we say satisfaction, alright? So to feel happy towards Rita, okay? Whereas Rashid, it's application, which we call it job application or application letter, okay? Rewrite the sentence as indicate. Our teacher asked us to join the WhatsApp group. He wants to share lessons. We have the expression here, so that. And it's an expression of purpose, okay? Keep this one into your mind. And as I said before, whenever we have so that, we should to look for a particular rules to follow for you, okay? Because we have two kind of expressions whenever we have so that. It's quite different to have so as to or in order to. Here we go directly to the verb before it, okay? So, and we say if it is in the past, okay? Or if it is in the present. That's good. So this is past and the second is present. If it is in past, we write subject plus could. Okay? This is just a helpful rule for you. And if we have, let's say, present, we write subject plus can. That's wonderful. And we say, our teacher asked us to join. Here asked, it's past. That's why we are going to use the first element so that he could share lessons. All right. The secretary arranged documents on shelves. Great. The documents here, it's an object of the first sentence. All right. That means we are in front of a passive voice form. All right. So here arranged is a past simple. That's why you are going to put the verb to be into the past tense. All right. Okay. Be careful because we have in the first sentence as a subject documents with s. That's why we are going to put the verb to be into a plural, let's say, sense. Okay, that's good. We say the documentaries were arranged by the secretary on the shelves, or the documentary were arranged on the shelves by the secretary. That's good. I will talk to the boss about the problem and said and promised. Here we have the verb promised, okay? And whenever we have the verb promised, we put to plus verb infinitive, okay? And we see in this context, so and promised to talk to the boss about the problem, okay? That's good. This is the second part of language side. Put the verb in brackets in the correct tense. Kim and Lee table tennis the whole morning yesterday. Patricia worked as a policewoman before she retired last year. So the first one here, the expression that you may notice is yesterday. That's good. And we assume this one, it could be a past tense. This is the first rule. And the other expression is the whole day. So when we have an activity that starts, let's say, from a particular period of time into another one, okay, we talk about past continuous. So this is the rules. And we have two personality or two characters. Here we say Kim and Lee were playing table tennis the whole morning yesterday. Some of you would put played, and this is considered as mistake. Patricia worked as a policewoman before she retired. Here we have an expression of before. Okay? This is the first action that happens, and this is the second. And as I said before, whenever we have before, the verb that is followed is past simple, whereas that is, let's say, after it, it could be before it, or let's say if we have a comma, if we start with before and we have a comma here, we put, let's say, subject plus had plus verb past participle. Sorry about my handwriting, but let's consider as this is past perfect, okay? So we have had, okay? And verb past participle. That's great. And we say Patricia had worked as a policewoman before she retired last year. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate words from the list. Andrew thinks that the project will positive result. The parliament vote against child after long debates. Here when we talk about the project that is going to start or that is going to make a lot of changes, especially the positive one, we say bring about, okay? So this is the solutions that we have here. And bring about is explain the idea that happens. So this project make a lot of changes, especially the positive results to a particular company, okay? That's good. Parliament vote against child. So for example, when we have a child who is still young and he works in a particular, let's say, hard work, especially either construction or let's say another hard works. So in this sense, we consider this kind of preventing or destroying someone's childhood. Okay, that's why we use this context about labor. Whereas here it's something positive or that's good. Job is also considered as something good. For example, we say job opportunity, but here the only that is fit is labor. Okay, so we see Parliament vote against child labor after long debates. That's good. Choose the right response. I think dolphins are cute and smart animals. I can't help it. I really regret that. That's right. Here, let's understand these kind of sentences. I can't help it, for example, when you have an opinion about something and you somehow disagree about it, okay? Whereas I really regret that is something in which you express your regret, okay? And when you agree with a particular person, you say that's true or that's right, okay? So only left here is that's right. Sophie, I'm sorry I've got complaint about your service. The internet connection is very slow. Service agent, thank you. That's a good suggestion. Okay, we will certainly fix that soon. It's obvious here, but let's talk about something. So the context that we use thank you when I give a help and you say thank you. That's a good suggestions. So for example, if we are going to suggest a particular things, either saying let's go to the cinema or let's say let's go swimming, okay? So this is kind of suggestions. And when you agree with that suggestions, okay, we will certainly fix that soon. If something comes as a problem, whenever we have fixed, is related to make something better, which is already bad, okay? That's good. And we say, we will certainly fix that soon. Team, I feel bored today. I really don't know what to do. Here you are going to make a suggestions. And I do prefer, let's say, either saying, shall we go to the beach? Or let's say, shall we watch a movie? Or the easy one that you use with your friends, let's go to the cinema, alright? Dave, could you share that video with us? Response to this request. Here you are going to say either disagree or agree. Both of them are correct. But let's talk about something which is referring to an agreement, okay? So that's why we say yes, of course, or let's say I would love to. That's good. So this is a writing task. Complete the following paragraph. Many people leave the countryside to live in the city for several reasons. Here we have the idea that is going to be about living in a particular city. Okay? The countryside is the place that maybe lack certain equipment or certain things that pushes you to leave it and not to live there anymore. Okay? Maybe you will come back, but as soon as you are going to live in country with these kind of reasons we are going to mention here, inshallah. So let's have a look at what we are talking about here with these examples. Employment opportunities in the city are the main reasons. In other words, living in the city enhances the chance of getting great jobs opportunity in several sectors with a fancy salary. As the latest researchers have found, 30% of people migrate only for economic reasons. Second, there are many young people who prefer either to go to the city for better education or to pursue the high school because all major college and university are located in big cities. That is, the majority of students are coming each year only for the educational goals. For example, my 8-year-old brother came from Rashidiyya to Meknes to study English language. Third, some people live in the city simply due to bigger and top-related hospitals so as to prepare for emergency. Finally, the reasons of living in a particular city can be various and numerous depending on the context of each person. Okay, so the first reasons that I'm going to mention is the opportunities that is related to employment. Okay, so for example, in the countryside, you may find only some particular jobs like agricultures and so on, whereas for example, the big city, you will find different places, or let's say different companies requiring different skills. All right. For the second, we will talk about high education. It's related to educational goal. Okay. So either better education. Some parents maybe take their kids to study in a big city simply because they have a good teacher there. Okay. And for other students who get, let's say, their baccalaureate in a particular context or in a particular place, they try to travel from a particular place that lack universities and go further to another place which has, or in which there is, let's say, university. That's good. And we support it with different ideas. So the last one, when we have the bigger or the best or better hospitals in a particular city. Okay, so some people go there only for avoiding the cases that requires emergency. Okay, and we end up with conclusion sentence. So as I said before, in any particular context, we try to use different ideas from the beginning till the end. So the first one is started from this one, and we support it with this idea. Okay, that's good. Whereas the second, I give an example of my brother. And the last one is for emergency. Okay, so this is a good point to support a good paragraph, and it's acceptable for teachers who wants to correct it in a good way. That's good. So this is the last part of writing task or the exam in general. Okay, so for example, you notice that your neighborhood is very dirty. Okay, so you are going to write an articles for the local newspaper to suggest some ways to keep your neighborhood clean. All right, so let's talk about these kind of paragraph in terms of structures and in terms of ideas. So the first one we are going to talk about here is an intro. Okay, so the intro here, you are going to state two ideas. The first one is going to be a general idea or general statement, whereas the second is the thesis statement. It looks like a topic sentence. Okay, in the body here, we try to spread, let's say, three ideas, and in each idea it consists some, let's say, major ideas and minor idea, and we end up with concluding paragraph. Okay, this is the body, and each paragraph, it talks about an idea, the first one, the second, and the third. This is the structure, and in terms of forms, let's study these sentences. Making a better, cleaner world can be started locally. This vision must be shared among us to keep our neighborhood clean. Hence, to make and keep it clean. Okay? First and foremost, we should synthesize all neighbors about the importance of having a clean neighborhood. Because if we don't make people aware of having neighborhood cleaned, our efforts may end up being useless. In addition, the only way to beautiful our neighborhood is to plant trees and flowers around the houses so as to enhance the natural beauty of the neighborhood. Furthermore, we should know that many rubbishes can be harmful to children, animals, and the rest of the environment. Therefore, we should do just a little, as my father used to say, that if each one of us picks up a little of litter, we will never have a dirty place in our neighborhood. That is, a simple action can change our surroundings for the better. Finally, coexistence is not only related to eating and drinking, but also to cleaning our environment we live in. So, we need to perform simple actions to first make our neighborhood clean and second live in a better, nicer world. Okay? As I said before, here is a general idea that we use in a topic or in an article in terms of introductory paragraph, okay? So this is kind of general statement, okay? Here is the thesis statement in which we are going to talk about in the body. So we talk about many ways. So the first one is to make people synthesize about the importance of the neighborhood and how it should be cleaned. Whereas the second, how to beautifulise through planting trees and flowers. Okay. The third is to collect some little rubbish to make one day or to make just a little change to push other people do the same as you do before. Okay. So here we say how the effects or the bad effects of rubbish towards children. So we will have kids playing around our house, especially our neighborhood. So we try to keep them safe. Maybe we will have some animals like dogs or cat playing there. And the rest of the environment, we talk about us. So when we talk about the ear, we should breathe a good ear and a clean one, okay? So the last one is conclusion, okay? So I try to use some kind of paraphrasing to the first sentence or the first paragraph, which is the introductory paragraph, okay? That's great. This is the end of our national exam. We hope you have wider your versions in terms of the national exam correction, and I hope you all the best with great wishes and success in your life. Thank you so much.